Hey, we're about to start the show, and you know the drill. If you've been here before and you have something important to share, please add a capital letter Q to your comment. And if you are watching live for the first time, please let us know by writing the word new, and we'll give you a nice little welcome. Enjoy the broadcast. Ladies and gentlemen, it is one of those days. I don't think I took my snarky medicine this morning. Either that or the news just lend themselves. But I just prepared the eye roller just in case. Maybe it's me. Maybe you'll let me know whether eye rolling is deserved. But before we go there, how is everybody doing this morning? I started eye rolling early. But sometimes we get to eye roll, sometimes we get happy news, sometimes we get sad news, sometimes the news are thought provoking. And when it's a little bit of everything, I mean, sometimes we even have to invoke the what the fuck parrot, and today may be one of those days. But before we get started, it is Thursday, April 18. The week is almost over, and I hope everybody is having a good morning today. I have a few I have a few eye rollers. I have news. I have some food related news, and I have let's just go to it. Might as well. Eye roller number one, or potential eye roller number one. Do you recognize this spot? There used to be an old Puerto Vallarta home right where that construction project is, and then it was turned into a gay bar. Or maybe it was a very dimly lit restaurant. I'm not sure. I'm not sure they were sure what it was. But what I'm sure of is that it ruffled the feathers of the church across the street. And the bar ended up closing. Then the property was sold, and poof, a new condo project began growing and growing and growing. And then it was taller than the church. And this ruffled the church's feathers as well, apparently. Now, it was lacking some permits, so it was shut down, but those permits have now arrived, so the project can continue to be built. But the church across the street is still unhappy. Of course, we're talking about the Holy Cross Church right behind Farmacia Guadalajara in Colonia Emiliano Zapata. The church is arguing that people have the right to culture, and making the buildings around the church so tall renders the church invisible for people. And because people have the right to culture, the building should not be built. Because when the church is not visible, you are taking away the culture. Don't ask me. I don't go to church. Maybe the church could build a taller building. I don't know. Maybe I'm being snarky. Maybe I haven't had my coffee. Maybe I just need to do one of these. Maybe I should stick to my script. And remember this building on Matamoros Street that was demolished recently? There was a question that whether it was part of our city's inventory of historic properties. I should put it on the screen so you know what I'm talking about. And since it was apparently not part of the official Puerto Vallarta Registry of Historic Properties, it was demolished, despite the fact that there was no demolition permit. They had a construction permit, but not a demolition permit. So it was torn down, and I don't know what state it is in right now, but there is a little detail. Apparently, the structure may not have been registered in Puerto Vallarta, but it was registered in the state of Jalisco's Ministry of Culture as a protected property. And since nobody notified the state that the construction was to be demolished, the state will now sanction the municipality of Puerto Vallarta. Not quite an eye roller, if you ask me, but from where I sit, and this is going to sound completely ignorant and perhaps devoid of any fundament, I wonder if anybody ever asks, when do we reach a tipping point when we have built way too many condos than are needed? How do you reach a reasonable balance between supply and demand? And that's a question I don't have an answer for. All I know is that the Jalisco Ministry of Culture did not okay the demolition, and now they're going to sanction the city. Now, this one made me laugh. So we've known that the Malecón is in dire need of some TLC, and several months ago, it was announced that the city was going to fix up the Malecón and replace the tiles along the pedestrian bridge and other improvements. And then 7 months went by, and not even a month ago, it was announced that the city was finally going to start with these improvements. Remember that? Like, I'm not making this up. Well, now it took a press conference yesterday. During a press conference, Puerto Vallarta's interim mayor, Jose Martinez, announced that he will, future tense, he will instruct the Public Works Department to go walk along the Malecón to find out what's wrong, particularly with the lights that don't go on at night. And I ask myself, it takes a press conference to tell your staff to go walk across the street and have a look at what is wrong? Is it me, or maybe I should have breakfast today? But I think, you know what? I think we are unleashing the parrot this morning.
What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck?
I mean, what the fuck? I don't know what to tell you. I really don't. I just think it's funny. Now, here is something that is really, really sad. And this really bums me out. And it bums me out because there's only so much anyone can do about it. Here's an image of the iconic Pátzcuaro Lake in Michoacán. This is a must destination for Day of the Dead celebration fans. You can visit this beautiful island called Janitzio by boat, and the entire location goes nuts in the best possible way during the annual Day of the Dead celebration. And this is how travel brochures want you to remember this very popular tourism destination. Unfortunately, that's not the way it looks today. Today, you can almost reach the island on foot. And of course, the devastating news is that Pátzcuaro Lake is dying. Fingers are pointing at avocado farmers that extract water from the lake illegally to water their crops. Or maybe it's global warming, or maybe it's the pandemic, or maybe it is a combination of everything. But the fact is that for those people that rely on the well-being of this body of water, whether it is for tourism purposes or for fishing or whatnot, not to mention the flora and fauna that used to live there, it is simply devastating. And the drought season in Mexico is just getting started. This is just sad, and I'm sorry to bum you out with these kind of news, but I think the best thing any one of us can do, even if it's just a difference of a glass of water, is be mindful of how we are using water at home. Everything else, it's out of our reach, out of our control, but that is something that we can look after and maybe put pressure in our government to continue to find sources of water without destructing what we already have available to us. And with that note, not very cheerful, let's take a quick look at the weather just to see what's going on out there. I'm really bummed out about the Pátzcuaro thing. Let's see. Oh dear. Apollo, we all know that myth about you slaying the dragon python was just an allegory for you wanking off in the bushes. No idea what that is about, but I can tell you that it is 25 degrees out there. Humidity is relatively low at 56%, and our weather forecast indicates that we're going to enjoy clear skies throughout the day with a high of 28 and a low of 17. Then tomorrow we can expect another day with clear skies, a high of 28 and a low of 17 again. And finally, Saturday, we can expect clear skies throughout the day with a high of 29 and a low of 17. Yes, things are getting progressively warmer out there. I have a couple of other things that I want to share with you. Just in case you're out and about this weekend, the 5th Puerto Vallarta Marathon will take place this coming Sunday, welcoming runners from all over the world attracted to a cash prize of over 500,000 pesos. The route goes mostly along Francisco Medina Asensio, so whether you are out and about to have a look at the runners or whether you are planning on driving along our main avenue this weekend, just be mindful that there may be some traffic adjustments along the way. And in case you're feeling hungry, I have a special treat for you. How about some scorpion? No, don't ask me where you can enjoy this delicacy in town, as I doubt anybody serves them here, but if crunchy scorpions are a craving that you have, they are a delicacy in the state of Durango, and the preferred method to enjoy them is in a taco. That's right. I dare you. And you thought crunchy grasshopper quesadillas were a big deal, and you had been able to allow yourself to enjoy crunchy grasshopper quesadillas. Well, you can add these scorpion tacos to your list of I dare you treats from different parts of Mexico. And that's what I have for you today. Let's see what you have for me today. Let's see. I see good mornings. I appreciate the good mornings. Fill in the blank. You can bring the church to culture, but you can't make it blank. Okay, let me see. You can't make it popular. You can't make it trendy. You can't make it duplex. How about that? You can bring the church to culture, but you can't make it duplex. That is my contribution, Rita. Thank you for the challenge. Let's see. There's a queue. The construction of all the condos is putting huge pressure on the infrastructure. Upgrades to water and sewer systems is in jeopardy of failure. Developers should have to pay for the upgrades. Well, Chris, that's a nice thought. I think you are correct in the pressure part. How this whole thing is legislated, you know, and this is an election year, so do forgive me for rolling my eyes at the whole situation. Oh dear. Funny thing, I was thinking of the parrot when I started working this morning. Oh, that is so sweet. John has shared a URL about Whitaker pleaded guilty. Just a reminder, John, when you share URLs here, they don't show up in the comments, so just be mindful of that. Luisa says, Pátzcuaro, oh no, so sad. I've never been. And now it bumps me out to think about saving money and getting there just to find that. That is the state of things. It is heartbreaking. Vicky comments, city government without a strong planning department is common throughout a lot of cities. This is correct. And it is unfortunate. Albert says, last year Kevin went across that lake on a boat. Well, yeah. I mean, this has been progressively happening over the last 3 or 4 years. And now it's reached that tipping point in which either the federal government does something or it's going to be irreversible. I hope that's not the case, by the way. That's just my comment on the situation. Luisa says, I had the privilege of visiting Pátzcuaro and it was so magical. Feel so sad for this sad news. Yes, I've never been and I've always wanted to. And Sherry says, scorpion tacos sound gross to me, but what do I know? I hear you. I've never tried them. I have no problem eating grasshoppers, but scorpions, that might be a little bit too much. And Gary, you make me laugh with your comment. I might have to correct my love all tacos comment from the other day. There are some tacos that are not appealing to me, like brain tacos for some reason. I have no problem eating cow lip tacos or eating beef tongue tacos, but brain, ooh, no, not for me. Oh, and there's the moronga, which is the clotted blood. No, those tacos are not for me. Let's see what else we have. Pamela, oh wise woman that you are. It is bureaucracy taking over common sense as is usual. I wish I was a politician for a day just to understand how the whole machine works. You know, not being a politician, not working on city government, I have no actual feel for what the challenges are. But you know, they could improve their public relations department and just say things in press releases that sound or look better than they do. That's just my 2 cents. Michael comments, the election year is the worst year. If the party running the city now loses, they will give so many permits before they leave to take the honey with them. This is true, Michael, unfortunately. And also, the last year is always and I may be generalizing here, by the last year of any government period, the leaders are saying, you know, well, what does it matter? We're going to be out of here in 6 months. Are they going to come up with their own alternatives? So, you know, when you start adding all these situations, there's just so much time wasted and there's no continuity, and it is sad, but I'm not gonna let it bum me out. I really am not. Albert had clotted blood in Oaxaca. Okay, good for you. And Luisa says, tacos de tripas. How do you even translate tripas? Tripe tacos, is that what they're called? I'm not even sure. But I'll add that to my list of research. For now, it is time to come to the end of today's broadcast. As always, I thank you. We try to keep things optimistic, and sometimes we can, sometimes we cannot. I suspect today was a little bit of a sad thing. I shall give you the pooping bunny before we leave. Maybe that'll make you laugh. Check this out. I wish I could go like... See? Build me a button so that I can go, and whenever I push my button, I wish to have a bunny pooping button installed somewhere. Just for those days in which things are acting funny. Anyhow, this is Coffee and Headlines. Very goofy day. What can I say? I'll see you tomorrow. Maybe it will be different. Have a good day. Oh, and what am I doing here? This is not where I want to be. I want to end the show. Bye-bye.